So when you go through university, a code bootcamp, or even learning just by yourself, it can be a bit difficult to decide what programming languages or frameworks you want to learn after you've learnt your first couple. So today, we're going to talk about how I decide what I want to use. So let's get started. Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So I like to take a very pragmatic approach to it because I like the idea of actually being employable in my area. So the way that I look at it is, typically what I'll do is I'll go onto websites like Seek and Indeed, things like that. And what I'll do is I'll look for things that are popular like React, Angular, Vue, C#, .NET, all these things. And I look at what is actually popular in my area because it may seem like, if you look at it overall, like, oh, React is a massive framework. But in some areas, there's not much React work and people are still using things like Ruby on Rails. So in areas like that, if you want to be employable, you're much better off spending your time working on that. If you want to move areas, obviously look at those areas. But in my area, for example, React and Angular are very popular. And then in third place, it is ASP.NET, which is a fairly common stack. Or fairly common set of technologies, not really a stack, I guess. And then for the back end, it's a lot of PHP and some more ASP.NET. But then things like Ruby on Rails and Flask and even Node are basically just not even used in my area. Like, you'd expect Node to be fairly popular because in a lot of places, there's a lot of Node work. And for the front end, basically no one uses Vue here, so there's not really any point for me to learn that either. It's much better for me to focus my effort on things like React and Angular where I know that there are jobs. However, if you're still really early on, like you've only been doing a code bootcamp for maybe a month or so, or you're very early in your university life, don't worry about what will make you employable. Obviously, don't go and learn like COBOL or something stupid like that. But don't really worry about that stuff. If you want to learn React because you think React looks cool, go and learn React. If you want to learn Angular because you think it looks cool, go learn Angular. Early on, I think the most important thing is just do things that you find interesting. Later on, once you've got those core skills, then you can worry about building up those technical skills that are actually going to make you employable. If you happen to find whatever's employable in your area fun, I guess, like I do. I love React and I love Angular. I love Angular way more now that I've been using it for a little bit. But if you enjoy what makes you employable in your area, do that. Otherwise, just do something that you think will be fun. The most important thing is just program. Once you've learned those basic concepts, the language constructs themselves can come later. I know that people want to be learning the new and shiny technologies. I know React and Angular aren't really that new anymore, but they're still pretty much the newest big web frameworks out there. But I wouldn't recommend ignoring those legacy skills. Like, have some jQuery knowledge. Make sure you actually understand that because there is a lot of legacy applications out there that you're going to have to work with, and it will make your life a lot easier if you actually know how to work with this. And this isn't just the case with web development. This is the case for game development and just general desktop development. Make sure you understand those older technologies as well, not just whatever is currently being used, because there will be a lot of those legacy projects that exist. Because a lot of the time you aren't just working on something that is just being created now. You're working on something that has existed for years and you're probably upgrading it, or you're trying to integrate it into some newer application. So if you understand how it works, it'll make that job far easier for you. And it'll also make you far more employable if you can say, oh, I know how to do this new stuff that we want to do, but I also have this knowledge of this older application and this older framework, and I know how I can actually integrate those two together and make them work seamlessly. I wish I could give examples like jQuery for game development or desktop development, but I just don't have that knowledge base to actually talk about those fields properly, so I'd rather skip over that and not suggest stuff that is not the most accurate knowledge I could provide. If you're into those fields, then there's plenty of resources online for you to search for, and I think it's probably better for you to do your own research there than for me to give you either outdated advice or just plain wrong advice. So basically, to sum this video up, what I think you should be doing is, if you have that basic knowledge base already there, look at what is being used in your area for whatever field you're into. If you're into web development, you're into game development, you're into desktop development, iOS, Android, whatever frameworks and languages are being used in those environments now, and go and learn whatever has the most jobs available for it. Unless I guess you want to be in a niche. If you want to be in a niche, go right ahead. I just wouldn't suggest it if you want to make your chances of getting a job much higher, unless you're going to go in some like crazy niche and learn, as I said before, COBOL, and be like one of the 3 COBOL developers that are around that aren't dead. There are still COBOL applications out there, and it's terrifying. But if you don't have that basic knowledge base, just pick something, whatever you think looks cool, and learn that, get good at that, and once you've done that, then you can go and learn whatever will make you employable. Because the most important thing for a very new developer is just getting your feet wet with projects and actually learning those basic concepts. And the language constructs will come later. They'll come much easier once you've learned a few languages and a few frameworks here and there. So I think that's pretty much everything for this video. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon below if you want to see more from my channel. And if you think your friends will like this video, remember to share it with them as well. So I don't have anything else to say for this video, so I'm out.